Good afternoon to everyone. It is wonderful to be here amongst you and present some of my thoughts with you, and mutually we shall share the vision of peace. The contribution of ecology to the violent future, violent present, was due to the violent past. And the contribution of the violent past is mammoth, gigantic. And I consider the human side as an ecological factor, and my presentation will be based on that premise. And I seek your permission to cite some scriptures from the faith that I follow. To give you little more insight on the violent present, I would like to draw your attention on a quadrant where I'll be talking about 4 types of the violence that are present. On the one side, you have the legal violence. On the other side, you have the illegal violence. At the same time, these two things can be differentiated, which are directly implied violence, and there are violence that are implied indirectly. But what affects someone indirectly affects others directly. So in the context of legal and direct, first, the ineffective governance of a nation play a vital role. Next comes the war. To sustain in position and power, politicians use war. And most importantly, here I would like to cite one Tamil saying which goes like this: Arasan evvaliyo makkal avvali, which means what is the way of the king, saying is the way of the subjects. So, if the state is violent, you cannot expect the subjects to be inviolent or tolerant. As long as the capital punishment is in vogue, you cannot expect a civilized society. And again, in the legal and indirect violence, unjust legislations is another aspect of illegal but indirect violence. Poor economic policy. When the state leaders, the rulers, bring in poor economic policy, it affects the maximum chunk of the people and benefits the very few. And again, I would like to say in another Tamil quote, சட்டம் ஒரு இருட்டறை, அங்கு வண்டுகள் தங்கிவிடும், ஆனால் ஈக்கள் மாட்டிவிடும், வண்டுகள் துளைத்துவிடும், வந்துவிடும். Which means the law is like a web in which the flies will be caught, but the bigger mighty insects will escape. Which means justice could be purchased. So no nation can be proud saying that we don't have any corrupt judges. And most importantly, lack of transparency in government decision is also another form of indirect violence. This is another important thing, mostly done by the governments, direct but illegal, which are encounter killing. If someone is troublesome, finish him off. Call it encounter killing. And another one, to avenge someone, you inflict terrorism. Terrorism by the state, terrorism by individual organizations. Both are condemnable and both are illegal and incite direct violence. Again, drone strikes by nations on poor nations are nations which are helpless. And right now, there is a great media revolution going on. The public do believe whatever is projected in the mass media are true. And the TRI rating driven media want to create a frenzy in the society, and as a result, they report what is juicy and what is spicy and create disturbances and violence. And again, in the form of another illegal violence is mining, whether it is sand mining or mining of the minerals. And most importantly, there are a lot of swelling in the society which come in the form of adulteration, which is facilitated by the market economy and by the exploitation of the environment. Now, I have listed out a lot of things, and in this presentation, I am going to restrict myself only with the capital punishment. Death, murder, and capital punishments are human inventions. In the Garden of Eden, human beings yearned death by preferring knowledge instead of everlasting life. The Creator, Almighty God, created the human beings with the aim of giving